After 18 days of vehemently denying involvement in the death of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, Saudi Arabia now claims he died during a fistfight at the Saudi consulate in Istanbul. The Saudi government has also dismissed 5 high-ranking officials close to Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and arrested 18 others in connection with the case. The Washington Post columnist had been critical of the Saudi regime and had been living in self-imposed exile in the U.S. since last year. Khashoggi entered the Saudi consulate on October 2nd to get documents necessary to marry his Turkish fiancée. He never came out. Al-Ahmed is the director of the Gulf Institute, an independent, nonpartisan organization that supports dissidents of the Saudi government. His past reporting has been very critical of the Saudi regime. He joins me now. So, Ali, when you heard the Saudi account overnight that this ended with a fistfight, started off as a fistfight, and then he died, what did you make of it?
It's very basic, really. The fact that the Saudi government previously said that he has left the consulate and we don't have him, then they say he was in the consulate and then he was killed in the fistfight. So really the credibility of the Saudi government here is in question. That's why an impartial international investigation is warranted and needed to interview these individuals who the Saudi government itself said they might be involved. So it's important to take this outside Saudi Arabia and have the international community oversee this investigation so we know the exact truth. We shouldn't listen to parties involved in this crime.
When you talk about truth, Ali, if we're being honest here, even U.S. intelligence is not very good inside Saudi Arabia, inside those upper echelon levels of power. What can you tell us about these high-ranking Saudi officials who were dismissed because of Khashoggi's death?
These usually in the Saudi monarchy process and politics, they will never admit that the prince did something wrong. So they always blame it on the aides. This is very similar. It was expected. I was speaking to a former aide in the palace, and he said that's what he expected a few days ago. That they would blame it on the aides who acted without authorization, and that's exactly what happened. There is a famous word of King Salman who said that our sword does not touch the flesh of our children. That means that the royal family will never be held accountable for anything they did. That's the Saudi justice narrative. So I think here it's important to investigate these people outside the country to get the real story.
You mentioned the king. We know he is really technically the highest source of power. We know that his son, the Prince Mohammed bin Salman, has wielded a great deal of power. Do we know, is the king aware of how many failed policies the prince has, from Aramco IPO to kidnapping Saad Hariri of Lebanon to the princes in the Ritz-Carlton that were detained? Is he aware of how things have unraveled in addition to the Khashoggi situation?
Well, we have to be honest. The King Salman is elderly, and his mental condition is not well. He suffers from several conditions that makes him limited and in terms of capacity. So Mohammed bin Salman is the real ruler. He is in charge even of his father. This is what I know. And the king does not have the power that Mohammed bin Salman would like us to believe. The real power, the real king, is Mohammed bin Salman, and he sometimes uses his father as a shield in case of changing or cancelling the Aramco IPO or other projects that he wants to get out of. He makes the king, sort of order the decision. It's very clear to us that Mohammed bin Salman is the real leader, and he is, like I said previously, he is the strongest Saudi leader, and that's reflected in the decisions that they took. It touched everybody except Mohammed bin Salman.
Such an important point to make. I think that maybe folks in our audience might not understand. Just he really is right now the central source of power. So do you buy these reports then that the Saudi royal family is looking to replace Prince Mohammed bin Salman? I mean, if he really controls the seat of power at this point and not his dad, what does it mean for the country? And do you see him being forced to step aside?
I don't see that Mohammed bin Salman can be replaced. Previously, the centers of power were divided among 3 or 4 princes. Right now, all these centers of power are in the hand of Mohammed bin Salman. He is really a strong leader. He is decisive. He makes a lot of mistakes, but maybe that's due to young age. He has everything. His cousins, who might have provided alternative to him, are basically have been neutralized. They have no power whatsoever. They can't even leave their own houses. So the honest truth is that he controls everything, and that's why he's the strongest Saudi leader ever. No one can compete with him. There are, of course, in the palace, even among his aides, they are in happiness, but they have no capacity, sometimes even the willingness to challenge the power of MBS. He is the man to deal with. You like him or not. He is the guy in charge.
Ali Al-Ahmed, so grateful you can join us to share your insights on Saudi Arabia. Thank you very much.